Yo, this Rome, your favorite rapper, man. And y'all know, man, I keep bringing y'all dope interviews season after season, man. And this episode, I got my brother in the building, man. Q Deezy, man. That's what I call him.
Sure.
But you know, he called himself Consequence and all his other names, but it's for y'all niggas.
Mm-hmm.
My brother, though, is my brother.
Absolutely.
Show you, man. Real talk, man. You already know the vibes, man. It's been a long time coming, man. And we were supposed to do this shit.
You already know.
When you first started making moves with that Live Nation shit, man, I said,
Correct.
I seen the yellow shirts and the blue shirts, and I was like, what the fuck is my nigga doing? Nigga had the vest on.
Mm-hmm.
That nigga said, yo, I'm over on the other end. I'm on the other side. I said, what side is that? He said, that side that you trying to get to, nigga.
Yeah.
I said, man, you gotta talk to me, Q. And we really never got a chance to talk.
Yeah.
But I was watching your moves. You was watching mine, and here we go. So
yeah, absolutely.
Everybody know how you got the entrepreneur talk.
This guy right here, man, he's a good friend of mine. Consider him as a brother always. Mm-hmm. We go back, way back. He always hit me up. We talk all type of stuff, music. Basically, when he got something on his mind, we talk about people, fallen soldiers, old war stories, and he just, he reached out to me and just like, damn, man, I see what you're doing, man. You always was a hustler. I'm giving you a fly. I'm like, yeah, you always doing your thing, and it's always a pleasure when you out here ripping and running around, because we tend to think that tomorrow is forever.
Real shit.
So sometimes you don't have a chance to reach out to your, your friends, family. Yep. So when you see somebody in traffic and you see them doing their due diligence and see them, building their brand, it's all love,
man. It's all love.
It's all love, and it's always been back to the one bedroom.
Yeah, right.
Like he got stories. Of me, I got stories.
It's man.
Basically, I had started doing theater work around 2006.
Facts.
Basically, stagehand work, basically building stages, and that led me to fast forward to 2014, 2015. The company I worked for, we went union, and basically it was a before we went union, it was an open thing about I was working for Live Nation then, like basically doing like just little stuff around, like putting fences up, stuff like that, anywhere to rub my shoulders with anything, and still doing the stagehand. So I had an option to do the stagehand and Live Nation. So still doing both. Fast forward to now, I don't really do too much stagehand. I pick and choose.
Facts.
But I'm basically like an operations guy over Camden. I got the hat on. Freedom Mortgage.
Shout out to Freedom Mortgage.
I'm over there, and I just got a lot of stuff going on. I just became a landscaper.
No, congratulations.
Got everything popping on that. The number one landscaping company in Philadelphia, BNR, Hardscape Landscape, you can look it up. Through PHS, I graduated the Philadelphia Horticultural Society. Basically was therapeutic. Learned how to use all type of, stuff growing and planting.
Right. Facts.
You know what I mean? So a little further on down the line, you probably see me with a cannabis line.
Hey man, listen, I'm on the same shit.
That's what I got going on, and I also got a trucker hat line in the works that I've been working on for a couple years. I'm really dealing with, well, I can say it now because I see a lot of people doing it.
Right.
I'm really focused on embroidery.
Facts.
Not too much of iron on, just embroidery, something that you can have for something you can have and you can hold on to. And I'm a pop off with that. I was talking to Big Bro off a camera about box truck stuff. It's a lot of stuff out here, man. You gotta use your resources. You gotta network, and you gotta never give up.
You really can't give up, man. No, I'm proud of you for that, because when I say when Q say we go back. I'm talking about as kids. Like we go back to kids. Like it ain't too many people I could walk down the block and look and remember my childhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to see how far you came, you know what I mean? Father, you know what I'm saying? A son,
grandfather,
you know, grandfather now, you know what I mean? Your son doing big things, just had his 8th grade, you know what I mean? Little party, you know what I'm saying? Dance. So, you know, and I remember when we had our job. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, just, it took a minute, even with me, you know, to get that family knitted cloth together, you know, your own. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? Your own. You know what I mean? You always was family oriented.
Yeah,
Not
you know what I'm saying? You definitely coming up, people had harder struggles, and you wasn't one of the friends that you was one of my friends that had a harder struggle than me. And I always like had your back, no matter what. Did, from when we was kids, and I used to always tell you everything will be all right.
All the time. I was one stressed.
Yeah.
Kids, you know, if a motherfucker, it wasn't too many niggas that could calm wrong there.
Yeah,
like when I got in my bag, nigga, I was in it. I was hurt. I was in it.
I remember.
Don't tell that.
You know, tell me that. You was fighting one of our homies. I ain't gonna name him name. You was fighting him, and he was a guy with a big reputation.
Right.
And he knew how to fight.
Right.
And you won.
I won.
And you had to fight him every day.
From that time.
Because he wasn't give it. He said, "No, man."
Yeah. Man. And it's funny because man, his history.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only ones he can look up to.
Right.
Look, he could ever see that be like, yo, that nigga right there.
Yeah.
Not equal to me, but gave me a run for my fucking money every time I tried to put my hands on that nigga.
Right.
And I wasn't the gangster. I wasn't the toughest nigga. I wasn't none of that. But I tell people, without him, it's no man. I'm not saying I wouldn't have got it, but I might have would have got it later. Evenly.
I can contest to that
because grandmom had me late already. So imagine me not fighting. I would have been even more late because I wouldn't have knew shit. The fighting had me meshing with people that knew what the streets was about.
Did you do champs?
I did.
You did champs?
I did.
Yeah. I was a boxer for like a week. When I put the headpad on and they sparred and the nigga hit me.
That was it. I was
my ear I was out of there. My ear started ringing. I took the joint off my head and slammed.
But this is the shit that made me play football because.
I forgot about that. You played for Mustangs, right?
So
played for Diamonds.
Play football because again, I'm taking myself through these reps.
Yeah.
Because it's no man in the house.
Mm-hmm.
To even
you were the man.
Basically,
you were the man.
So I had to put myself through training on my fucking own. Grandma wasn't gonna let a nigga do nothing. She was just like, I can't afford y'all niggas to get hurt.
This shit right here, this man. Woo.
Yeah,
shout out to Ross.
Yeah, shout out to Ross. That shit right there. You see, listen, I brought that bitch home, and one day I drunk that shit in here. I don't even drink like that.
But you got the effect though.
Man, bro, I was in here spitting.
But you know what this is though? This is a splitting image of it was a black vodka years ago.
Basically.
That got banned and it tastes like licorice.
And that's what that tastes like.
And that's what it tastes like.
Yep, that's crazy.
That is nice.
Only an OG can tell y'all that shit right there.
I feel like Tommy. What he said? Got drunk in over 36 balls.
You feel me?
You know, had 2 shootouts. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, you from that side?
Yeah.
My family from that side. 12th and Poplar. My cousin is Duggar. Duggar.
James.
That's his dad, right? You talking about Curly? His dad?
Girl.
No, his son. Yeah, his son is my first. Yeah. His son is my. I know but I knew who you was talking about. Yeah, that's my family. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm related to the.
Cody.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No,
yeah.
Stop this.
That's family.
Pause. Now look, right now, pause. I got something even crazier. So that y'all two niggas stop. If y'all two niggas related, then that means you related to Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Because he related to Dave.
Mm-hmm.
They all Henrys.
And they definitely just posted it.
They all Henrys.
Yeah, free Big Dave Henry.
He Henry though.
What's up, Mike?
That's
What's
crazy.
going on, man? Happy belated.
Cousins.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a big family.
This shit.
I got a big family. That's why. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying you.
But this is why when I tell niggas this shit is a small world and nobody.
Yeah, they've been down there since they actually my family. Yeah, my family. They were where they stayed was at that side of my family and my mother's side. They actually came from Francisville, if I'm not mistaken. When they built the projects up, they built that in Blumberg.
Yeah, in Blumberg.
I forgot it was Bolton Way. That was the name back then. My mother, my grandmother moved there. If I ain't mistaken, they built it in '67. Anywhere between '67 to '69. But that's where I was. That's on my birth certificate. 2301 Bolton Way.
Wow.
I was a project baby. I played on the sills and all that. So I got like 5, and then I moved with my dad. 3 or 4 something like I can't remember.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
listen. But that's what I'm saying.
That was Columbia Ave.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
And I got
even
history
with something named different.
Yeah.
But niggas don't get busy. That's what I'm saying. When I say we from the essence, nigga, I was born in Logan, nigga. I was born in Einstein, nigga. That's why when niggas be like, why this nigga always look like he like an up top?
You always.
I was born in Logan.
Look though, we always was messing with Rome because Rome always had something uptown, and I ain't gonna hold you.
So did you go to New Bells, friend?
Yeah. I was in the halfway house at the time, but I'm gonna tell you this. But you know who was my boss? Rich. I work with Rich. What the fuck was that corporation? Damn. They had a chain of Save-A-Lots. I worked for Rich for like 8 years.
Damn.
Yeah. Curly's brother. Okay. Yeah.
That's crazy. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Money.
I went and he pulled me out of. He got me a pass. He got me a pass. Yeah, he got me a pass.
Ice crazy ass.
Right. He got me a pass out of. I was in the 600. Not Route. I'm talking about Route 600. I'm talking about. Listen, I'm talking about legal shit now. I said Route 600E. No. I was in the 600, the work release program, 2010, and that's when my little cousin Melvin passed away, and my cousin Rich actually got me a pass to come out to his funeral, and I was there at his brother's funeral too, Ra. When Ra died 10 years before that, he died in 2000 on back Jerome Street. Shout out to Jerome Street, that big historical spot in North Philly. Anybody know about Jerome Street? Man. You know
Jerome Street.
Shout out to my man Slice. Right. Shout out to my man Slice Max.
Yeah.
Slice, that's his block.
Yeah, that's block. Yeah, that's block. Yeah.
What's the Talking Heavy? Yeah. Talking Heavy podcast. Shout out to him. Yeah. Everybody, I am North Philly. You know,
like we really are North Philly. Like ain't nobody. We really the original. We were the original 80 babies. Yeah. We the original babies of that whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because everybody that came before us, if they ain't whoop our ass to get us out of there, we knew we was. It's funny because I was just telling somebody the other day. I said we didn't think we was gonna make it.
We
past 25.
Definitely.
You feel me? We never.
It wasn't even 25, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, it was even younger.
When they
than
saying that
2000,
what's going on now in Philly is more of it now since the pandemic, and they was giving out free money. But when when we were in middle school, it was going down. we had people that had their viewings at our middle school. Mm-hmm. Because their family couldn't afford or whatever, they had viewings we went to E. Washington Road. It was viewings at our middle school.
At our middle school, bro.
It was people dying. We had the walking packs.
Yep.
Starter jackets, leather jackets. Yep. Philly bad boy hats was earlier.
Yep.
But they was taking everything.
Yep.
And you was getting
nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Niggas be talking about they getting killed now, nigga. We was getting.
But it's just so. Yeah, it's just so more.
It's like it's just so
weird. You going back? That's like 81.
The news.
Yeah. Oh, they was the best ones.
Remember the steel toe rainbow?
They're the ones that Biggie was talking about way back. Yeah.
You remember the fucking rainbow steel toe Jones with them lines on the top of it? I hated them Jones.
Man, listen. I remember the history of Philly, right? It was burning up one Easter, man. And
man.
why did they bring these Columbia rain suits out? When I tell you, we all was out. Niggas had them joints. It was so hot. Niggas was sweating. That shit was sticking to them. That shit was melting. Nigga, listen,
Look,
listen,
you know
man.
what's so funny? My grandma looked at me and said, I was in the house crying because I ain't had one. I said, yo, grandma, man, everybody got one. They got the different colors out there and shit, red, green. Them fuckers got, looking right. It was like, nigga, the Dickie set. It was like somebody turned the Dickie set into that. That shit was crazy. So listen, right? I'm crying. Man, that day he talking about, my grandma looked at me and said, man, you see why I ain't put that, I ain't go buy y'all that bullshit. Cause y'all would have been out there black as shit like the rest of them niggas out there. I said, damn, I ain't gonna lie. That's probably the first time I was like,
yo,
it was
they did. They was like one.
Shit, nigga, you don't remember when they was wearing the cleats?
I remember because I
what?
You know,
niggas feet. Them bitches feet.
Listen, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm one that actually. I had to put a high top. I had to put a high top cleats.
I had high top and low top. Nikes.
Guess what?
Good. Listen,
I
ain't getting them. Right?
Listen, right? I wore it for like 2 weeks.
I ain't getting them. Twine got them Joes. All
Twine did have them.
Twine had them Joes. All you heard was niggas sliding around in the hallway.
You know what made me stop wearing my Jones?
Slipping and shit. I'm cracking.
You know what make me wearing my Jones? Right? Shout out to my nigga JC from Allegheny, Jawar Crawford.
Jawar.
He said, Q, man. Cause I think he was suspended or something.
He probably was.
He came back. He was like, "Man, why you got them Jones on your feet, man? Come on, man. Don't wear that shit no more.
Yeah.
I never wore them Jones again, man.
Dog. Listen, the shit got real.
It was a trend.
It definitely was a trend.
It was no way in hell we went from the fucking feline straps to the champions.
Oh, I was mad about that.
Fucking cleats, nigga.
And I tell people to this day,
the way the cleats slid in there after the sneakers. Nigga.
I tell people
my classics.
I tell people to this day. The way champion snuck out, it was like nobody. That was the offspring of the champion came out
knockoff of a company that was really real, but it was like we gonna take all y'all shit and just put our logo on that motherfucker. Y'all can suck a dick.
Listen,
until the New Balances came out because we was wearing champion sweatsuits. I mean sweatsuits until New Balances came out because New Balances did the same shit champion did. They said, "Oh yeah, fuck it."
But the thing was, we all see the feline strap sold out so quick. Yeah. Because this was in the day of no internet. You couldn't purchase on the internet. Yeah. So about time they came out, everybody was like, "Oh, you didn't feline strap." Ben Jones was gone.
Them shits was gone.
It was gone. See, I went through all the era.
I remember back then, not to cut you off, back then, they didn't have the other color ready right away. They like, damn, okay, this shit.
All these gotta go out.
They gotta make a whole all black with the white strap, the white. So
you had the all black with the white, right?
Yeah. That's when my first joint. My grandma, I bought my fucking self.
I remember.
I bought myself. I had got a summer job. I was on that, and see, this is a lot of people don't understand. They be like, well, how you work so young and so. Right. My grandma couldn't afford that shit, and I was getting picked on left and right.
You definitely was working there. I'm gonna ask you a question. You got me by how many years?
What, 2?
You 45?
Yeah.
All right.
You were 82, right, Q?
Yeah, well, 81, but the end of 81.
Yeah.
Now,
because you were a year older than Twine, because Twine 82.
Now listen, when you was 14, I was what? No, I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm talking about 93, 94.
Yeah, I'm like 13, 14.
All right. I lived on the top of.
Because it depends on what. If it was the summer, then I was the 8.
It was definitely hot.
So I was 14.
All right. So I probably was 11, about to be 12.
14, yep.
So yeah, you was.
Mm-hmm.
So now look, going down the street one day, coming out the house, walking down 26th Street, I see Rome. He got his wife beat on. You know, he used to work out ball back then. You know, cut like a bag of dope. He said, Q, what's up? What you doing? I said, shit. He said, yo, who in the crib? I said, nobody. He said, bet. I got what you call it? He said, yo, yo, you know, yo, yeah, we gonna go to school. She said, what's up? It was like, it wasn't my first, because I'm gonna tell you, my first was with, like, my first experience was crazy.
Yeah.
And we're gonna hold that.
Yeah.
But my first experience was crazy. But the thing with that was a memorable time.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was like,
I always had the house to myself.
Right.
We always had responsibilities. I would have to go get my nephew from school.
He had more responsibilities than me.
Right.
I was older than you, but this is what I'm saying. I had responsibility as far as working.
Right.
My grandma was pushing me out the door like, nigga, you gonna go get a job, nigga. You gonna make some money.
Because my nephew actually was born. I'm ahead of my nephew 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was around 13, he was already here, and I had to go pick him up every day, keep him with me. I had my nephew on the block with me.
That's facts.
We on 26 in Oakdale. From Oakdale, because I stayed on Sterner.
Mm-hmm.
But 26 and Sterner. I grew up on 29th Street, 29th between Chalmers and Lehigh. Moved to 26th Street around 93. Now I moved to 25th Street in 98.
Right.
So I've been all around Lehigh Avenue. So I be bumping into these people, and they be like, "Oh, they from this and that." They be from Baltimore. Mm-hmm. No shade, because we had the program that's bringing everybody in. But I've been meeting people, and they saying they from around there, and I can't take, because I don't own nothing. Yeah. I don't own no blocks or nothing like that.
Right.
But back then, I remember you couldn't say that.
You couldn't say none of that.
If you wasn't where you couldn't, even if you came from out of state, that's where you from.
Yeah, you ain't gonna say.
We had somebody with us that we called Jersey. We had somebody with us called Cali.
Listen. That's how.
That's your name when you come from another state.
Look, when we went to Cincinnati,
it's a term.
Yeah, that shit's still.
No, it's a term they call it in LA. Set tripping.
Yeah, set tripping. Because when I went to fucking Cincinnati, and the nigga was like, "What's up, folk? Where y'all from?" I'm like, "Philly." He like, "Oh man, I fuck with Philly, man." I'm like, "Where you from?" He like, "Chi-Town." This nigga wasn't even from Cincinnati. He like, Chi-Town. We called that nigga Chi-Town. We ain't come up with no Cincinnati.
They do crazy stuff out here, man.
We knew. He said Chi-Town like he knew we was Philly. Soon as them niggas was doing the dumb shit, he was like, "Come on, Philly. What's up, Philly, man? Tell them."
My man say, "Come on, Philly. Come on, Philly." Shout out to him, man.
Yeah. Shout out to the boy that do that too. Shout out to my nigga. It's my man birthday too. It's my nigga Ski, man. Shout out to Ski, Philly, man. You know what I mean. Shout out to K Dot too, man. You know what I'm saying.
Congratulations, K Dot, man. We all cheering for you, brother.
Yeah, man. Because I remember it was a couple times you said you caught him, you seen him, and I seen him a couple times. I couldn't stop, at the time. But when you say a prayer for some, a lot of times people don't understand that. When you a prayful person,
you pray and cry for somebody. If you can talk bad,
he's pulling money out.
You ain't got to worry about giving nobody money.
Praying for a person,
if you got love for him,
and look, that prayer, God answers.
Absolutely.
Man. He might not answer when you call, but he's always on time.
I just didn't like how people plagiarized him and just tried to even record him, like how he said, why he was in addiction. Because I'm a firm believer, and I went through addiction. Mm-hmm. I went through addiction when before all of the 30s, the 15s. Hey, that's cool because everybody got their different time, and history repeats itself. I was going through that when me and you had the house, when I was getting the joints in over. I can talk now because I'm legit. I was getting the weed in over the overnight truck, and we was breaking them down. I was hiding them in the ceiling of the
crib,
and it just so happens, getting back to that story, I moved this shit out the crib because you was going to work and you had felt because you got a good heart and you let the guy kick it in the room and play the game with his son. But he knew something was going on because I kept running in it back and forth.
He was like, "Yo, your man."
So I was like, "That's he hit brother." The room, but he ain't do nothing but get a bunch of clothes, a lot of He did get a lot of stuff that we recorded back then. Because Rome used to record on a karaoke machine. He had all this shit set up, just like how the shit was crazy. I did the ad-libs. I was always there, even in the studio,
man, like a brother.
Even in the studio,
he always like, I don't give a fuck, because in reality, Prior, then Q damn near came to all my shows.
Listen, I went
around the whole hood in North Philly.
Listen,
Q would drive me. If I had a car, I'd be like, Q, where you at? I'm gonna pick you up. He'd be like, all right, meet me on 29th Street.
Exactly.
I'd grab him. He'd grab me. I'd be like, Q, I don't know how I'm gonna get there, but these he always helped me chase my dreams.
Exactly. We gonna
keep this shit a bean.
How my man said
together. He needed somewhere to stay. I don't give a fuck who I was with.
Right.
Nigga, my man coming in here, my brother coming in here, and that's what I argue with so many.
Listen, man.
Shit.
And I ain't even gonna put her out there because her dad was a big radio person. Now we've been around this. Listen, shout out to my man Shitty Sharp Room.
Yeah,
I was there at that battle. Was it a battle?
Man,
no, it wasn't a battle. It was a cipher. Yeah. I was actually there when Hollow, shout out to Hollow, when he did that verse, when Sis did that verse. Yeah. I was around Sis and Dun did it. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Dun did it.
They was with the Hot Shit Entertainment because I used to rap back in the day. If anybody didn't know, they was with the Hot Shit Entertainment with us. They came in. They were doing their thing even back then as pups.
Right.
Everything they laid was fire. I was around. I actually was at the 8 Ball and MJG album release.
You was at that shit.
With me, Ken Rock. Shout out to Ken Rock. Shout out to Ken. Me, Ken Rock. Last Donna. Yes, and she was about to battle Adonis.
Yeah, Adonis.
But it wasn't. It was on some, because this was back in the day. There wasn't no internet, so you had to know somebody that was getting some money or be popping to be at these places.
Real shit.
It was at the studio. Ace, shout out to Ace Capone. They had a studio on Delaware Avenue. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Big ass studio. And when I tell you everybody was in there, they hosted the 8 Ball MJG
I think
joint.
That's where Mike Knox and them started going.
Listen,
on down the line.
Yeah, big ass joint in Delaware.
Yeah, we was going at the joint.
Listen,
that big ass doors, because when Mad Skills came up, I ran into Mad Skills coming out that joint when going in.
That shit, like, I was there for that. A whole lot of little. I was there for when the Headshot won.
Fucking with these niggas. Fucking listen.
Headshot won. I was around that.
Face Money. When I met Ice City.
Well, shout out to Free too. Free used to come through the first time I met Free in the barbershop. Back in the day, I was a young boy. He was with some guy, I named Ant. Yeah. And Ant knew Ken Rock and Bill because they were at the Mass Bond or something.
Yep, because that's how we got on the block with them at the block parties.
Freeway used to come through every Sunday. We had a cipher every Sunday. He would come through. And this was 98. He was actually one of the first ones that signed with Rockefeller because he was cool with Rome. And he used to let Rome know. Shout out to Cass too.
Yeah,
we went to.
We used to go up there and rap.
Listen, man.
Niggas be like, look,
I'm gonna tell you,
like niggas, I used to get in them Jones. Like,
they lucky.
And I ain't gonna say like, and that's why I say for him, for shout out to Free.
Shout out
for him to give me my flowers, bro. That's
mean a lot, man.
Shit, man. It mean that's what I say.
Shout out to Young Gunner too, my man Chris.
Yeah, Chris too. Man, you know his family. You know.
That's family,
that's
right
family.
There. It always was family.
Always been family. You know what I'm saying?
Always.
Used to come to the block when we was out there hustling.
Always family.
With Nell, I think, at the time. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, we got a lot of history. We really Lehigh Avenue. We really did that whole shit.
Yeah.
Niggas, when Pac died, nigga, I was going to Dobbins. I had to walk from 22nd Street down to fucking Lehigh. Like,
listen, I used to be in front of Dobbins every day before they go in.
Yeah.
I went to Dobbins Prime in 1997. Shout out to that. I had that shit on too. The pictures on I was in Dobbins Prime.
Yeah, that shit.
Had that shit on. And everybody, and guess what? Everybody, I always hung around older people.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, it ain't for a moment.
Yeah.
Is nobody can say
truly still
right. Listen, when I was coming up, man, it's no and listen. The only thing that count when you die is what you got for your kids and what your family and friends think of you and what you leave behind. But I can honestly say my childhood coming up, it was I never really wanted for nothing. I got into the streets because I wanted to be in the streets, wanted to do goofy, dumb shit.
True that.
I had my grandparents. We had a down south house. Like we used to go down south for the summer, stuff like that. Like I always was around good energy and stuff like that. Facts. I tell people all the time when people start talking drugs, I don't really be on that because drugs broke my family up. Always. So when I see people talk about like the Dot situation, I'm happy that he came up out of that. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a forever struggle. For anybody that's in addiction or getting out of addiction, it's one day at a time. That's why they say one day at a time. People think they just saying, "Oh yeah, no man, really you gotta live it. It's a lifestyle. Sobriety is a lifestyle. Getting high is a lifestyle. All this stuff is a lifestyle. Yeah. It's one day at a time, man.
Because there's days I be like, man, but then when I don't take no pain pills or nothing.
Exactly, man. Listen,
no hospital, nothing.
I could contest.
This could keep a nigga waking up and going to sleep.
They could tell you, Ken Rock, all them. I was drinking the syrup when it wasn't thorough,
and he'll tell you when I started fucking with them.
You know, I used to fuck with them Wiggles. Yeah, I used. Man, listen.
Bro, when I was fucking with them Wiggles for a minute, bro, that's why I say motherfuckers be tweaking, but like Twine got me on that bullshit.
Man, listen, bro. Listen, my folks is actually from down there. Like, my uncle was Mongoose. Shout out to Mongoose, Mayo, Mongoose, rest in peace. I know of Day Day. I actually went. Day Day is home, but I'm gonna tell you, this is a North Philly fact. He done with it now. And I don't want to go federal. I don't want to go federal. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Day Day was that nigga. 2000, he had a setup like the Carter. If anybody, this is why he went away. He had a setup like the Carter. You come in there, join up the steps. It was on Fairmont Avenue, and you could buy grams of bud. This is what it was. Like the history of North Philly. Like, yeah, it was that. I could tell you back when
Factory.
Fifth and Reese, when Tupac got killed at the game. Yeah. When Tupac got killed, I actually my homie was in the paper. He's in the paper looking at Pac. He knew Pac. He's in the paper. Stuff happens, man.
Listen, but this is why when I interviewed Dapper Dan, and he was telling me about the JBM,
right,
and what he used to do for all them with the cars. And
shout out to Dapper Dan, man.
Shout out to Dapper Dan, man. He had the store up on 4th and South.
Yeah,
like he really. But this is what I'm saying. How the richness of Philadelphia.
Oh, that was Lou Sims? No, I'm about to say that's old head. You talking about in the JBM? Or no, you talking about the original
light skin. He got brothers. His brother named Andre. What was their name?
Oh, you talking about Fats and them?
Talking about Fats?
No, they from there around like
Cambria?
No.
Oh wow. Well, you older than us, Bug, so you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But no, that's
good. But yeah, I definitely always
like Paul King. We got a lot of
always, listen, man, I
remember Fat Andre.
I remember when they did we used to look forward to them doing Whittier Playground over every summer.
Every summer.
That was a thing for us when we was like 9, 10, games, and we used to go to the Whittier camp.
Yep.
Shout out to Dal Schuler because Dal, he was the only one really doing it back then. Putting money into the thing. We went hard for our playground on Chalmers Avenue for like 10 or 15 years. They would never made it a playground until we got older and our kids actually reaped the benefits.
Yeah.
But we did that. I did the dances. I always say it in dances. I was a dancer. I was a dresser, a dancer. This stuff isn't new.
Real talk.
If they would have had the stuff that the kids got now, I would have been. Like I said, I don't know. Because my life. Listen, my life was so crazy back then.
Yeah, it was.
My life, people.
It was.
All my friends used to be like, "Yo, could we spend the night?"
It felt like we lived twice, bro. Because it was like, bro, we would. That's why I said, we was so mature, bro, for our ages. It don't make no fucking sense when I go and think back.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you. Shout out to my man Bobby. Look, New Alternative. Shout out to my man Bobby Dance, right?
Yep.
Bobby Dance never kicked me out. You know who used to kick me out because he knew my age? Freddie Boo. Rest in peace to my man Freddie Boo. Me and my man Freddie Drawn. Rest in peace his soul. Me and him never got along because he's a wolf. And I'm an earner, you know. So he thought, but he couldn't do nothing to me because I was connected. So he'd be mad, you know. Yeah. But right. So we get to CFCF 2005, and they pop my cell. Now, mind you, the guard on the block is Rockmine, which is Mooka's uncle. That's what he say allegedly. Rockmine opened my cell. He say, "Yo, your name Q?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yo, somebody up the front with some shit for you." I said, "Damn, what you be doing out there?" I'm way littler than this. I was like 120. I'm like 180 now. I was way littler than this. So I'm on CP something, the drama block where all this shit going on. So I got a detainer. So I walks down. It's Freddie Boo. Yeah, little nigga, you in my world now, huh? Do me a back. Yeah, now you owe me. We've been cool ever since. But he used to always try to kick me out of dances. I used to be it started from a shooting or something.
Freddie.
Definitely.
Freddie.
Definitely a shooting.
That was Freddie.
Definitely, but he had what had really made me and him like you already know his work.
Shit, I don't even know
his body. But he actually gravitated to me. He never like saying nothing was gonna happen. He always like no, and then all this stuff. And then shout out to my man Dark Low. Dark Low was up there with us. Me and Dark Low, and listen, no cat. If you watching Dark Low, me and him actually was judges. We had a rap battle in CFCF.
That's crazy.
And we gave away, me and Dark Low, we gave away like 60 soups. Shout out to Low.
Hey man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got historic moments with like people in the city, and it's always genuine.
Rather it was street or it was,
and it's always genuine. It's always
that's something that we always had.
But it be the people that know you that don't really give you a fly, but that's cool though.
They don't, because
I don't do stuff for that. But it's messed up because a lot of time I see people commenting on celebrities happy birthday. That person is never going to see that.
Yeah, they
got publicists and stuff that's running their page
and all that shit.
But when I look at my story and I see you seen that and didn't even say nothing. That should be the most crazy. Come on, man. But it is what it is. I be like, and you can't even look like, because then they get
like, why would you even follow me if that's what you gonna do? Like the Instagram is for you to like something,
right?
It was designed for that. Like Snapchat is for snapping and chatting.
That's
like what the fuck? Like, how do y'all turn an app to a spy cam? Like, fuck it, we just gonna look and see what them niggas doing, but we ain't gonna never let them know we looking.
That shit crazy, word cousin.
That shit is.
Where the world had a smart TV and there was a Chinese nigga on the other side with headphones and everything, listening.
Oh yeah, that shit was crazy, bro. I don't know what type of TV he had, but man,
but you know, I'm gonna tell you like this: a dumb motherfucker can't control a smart TV.
There you go.
See the Chinese motherfuckers. Yeah. Listen, man.
Bro, listen. It was a black man. Hey, listen. I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know. Don't give a fuck.
Bro.
As long as you see that I don't cut that bitch on.
I had a good part. I had a good coming up as a teenager partying. It started with the Dessert Club. That was the thing.
Right.
It's called the Dessert Club. It was daytime. Because we was young. I had a party there. We used to have to be there like, I'm gonna say around 1 PM to like 5 or 6.
Right.
I had a party there. Then the Dessert Club wound up shutting down. Then it was Illusions.
Yeah.
There's Illusions during the
That's
daytime.
when DJ Casper and them got it.
Right. It was Illusions during the daytime, and then dances just popped off on Filbert.
No,
if I ain't mistaken.
No, you right.
Downtown.
You right.
The Filbert one. When
it
wasn't New Alternative no more. I was too young to get into New Alternative. No, that was the last one. Off of Arch Street next to Chinatown.
Yeah, it's actually Chinatown on the side joint.
Down the street from the strip club. CJC.
And when you gotta go to the little court joint.
CJC.
Yeah.
It was down the street from CJC.
If you went to the court, they'd make you pay the fine.
Yeah, we got into a historic. And listen, I'm one of the ones that got away. I can say it now.
Yeah.
In an historic car chase outside of the club. We had this one. You know, everybody. Cherokees. I had a Laredo limited edition.
Younger than me and got more stories than
I had a Laredo and no bullshit. You know where I got it from? I had a Laredo Cherokee limited edition, fully loaded with a crazy system in it. And this when Biggie died, like 97 when he bought the joint out. We was banging like no more money, more problems. Shout out to my man LeVar Vargas. Yeah. This man, come on. We go in there all bombered on.
He did always have
Polo bomber. Yeah. He had the my man Var always was on some shit. He had an iceberg bomber.
Bro,
we get chased. The cops try to pull us over because mind you, this 97. The truck is 98 because I tried to sell parts to Bruce. Me and my cousin Spears, shout out to Spain. Yep. We tried to sell parts to the boy Bruce. He said this is a 98. It had a system in it. We sold the system. I pulls up to the school. I pick a girl up on 17. TJ was with me. Damn. Shout out to TJ.
Shout out
Free
to
TJ.
T. Yep.
But I pick a girl up on 17th Island game. Damn. She say, look, this after I dump all the yeah, listen. This after I dump all the system out, right? It ain't nothing but plastic and shit in there because they had to take the shit out the door. There was so much shit in there. She said, "What is that?" She said, "Where all the inside of the car at?" But it was just seats and shit. I said, "I'm about to get this shit redone." Yo, I pulls up to the school. My dumb ass, I parked directly in front of the school. Somebody see me and they call the cops. They wasn't even reported stolen yet. They had main tags. I got it from out Roxborough back in the day. I was a car thief. Back in the day, people used to leave their keys inside their car. Yeah. You know what I mean? They used to leave their keys inside their car. So I ain't had to pop it up and none of that. Yo, I'm riding around. I used to have listen, my neighbors told my mom on cleanup day, could you get your son to move his car so we can clean the block? My mom said, my son don't even own the car. That's how I was. Yeah. That's how a whole block full of Johnnies. That's crazy. And it was always one or two of us that had our own little hoopty anyway.
No, because he was always coming to grab. I'm like,
always.
I'm like, damn, Q dropped that. Yo.
And I'm little as shit. This before niggas start driving the Crown. We one of the original. We're one of the original Crown Vic drivers. Yeah. I'm talking about the wagons when it wasn't nothing but the wagons out here. Yeah. Like what year? Like this was like 88. No, I'm talking about the year of the car. It was like 88, 86 or something like that. The big old wagons.
The wagon joint, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't none of that.
That was in the National Lampoon.
Yeah. With the window that rolled down in the back. Yeah.
That was all metal.
Yeah, all metal. We them bulls.
Nigga,
we the original Crown Vic and Marquis.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Fuck them other shits. Nigga, that's what I'm saying, bro. Niggas don't even.
We was that. Airplane mode.
Shit, a tear nigga out, man. This shit, you better fucking
hear, man. But we had good times. We had hard times.
We did.
We had shit that was going on, and like I said, I was going through addiction at the time, and my man lost his father, which is Rome, and we just pulled it together and stuck together and held it together.
We did.
And held it down.
We did.
You know, he go to work. You know, I had him on the block with me for a minute. It wasn't him. You know, because he not no man. You gonna do your music.
Out that motherfucker all day. Right? I'm like, nigga,
he can't. He the type of person he can't sit still.
I'm gonna make some money, but I can't sit still. Like I be like, I'll go out there and be trying to bust my shit early as shit. He
can't sit still. That was my man.
That music was eating me. Like I always had something to say. Like whatever we was going through, I had to find a way to get that shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like I was the storyteller nigga for real. Like
that's what I said. That's why I said, you know what, don't even worry about it. I was having like if I wasn't gonna come out, he'd be directing traffic.
Yeah.
Because at this time I had like a little crib. We had like a crib in like 2-3 rooms, but I had a crib and I'm the original starter 3 for 10. I don't care what nobody tell you
about nothing.
I was double up. I was the Mr. Double Up man. I was selling double ups and 3 for 10s, but it was different type of merch.
Yeah.
No, they were Knicks. 3 for 10.
3 for 10, nigga.
I was getting so much of it.
Listen, we was what?
I was getting so much of it,
bro. It was crazy. Niggas was hating.
Yeah.
Niggas,
they would never say it, but
they never say it.
They never say it, but I definitely, I knew
he might be like them niggas.
Yeah,
they on some shit.
But I knew
do nothing.
Exactly.
The funny part. But man, you know I love about me and Q. We knew when they get the fuck out of Dodge.
Exactly.
We always had some something to come on the block
right? And get us, and we out.
Or we would meet them at the Chinese store around the corner, and we was out, bro. Mm-hmm. We didn't sit there and be greedy because Q like them niggas gonna party tonight and fuck they bread up. We gonna be right back out there early in the morning.
And I was a gambler too. I would gamble.
Yeah, but you were
shout out to my man Dennis, my man Misto. Me and Dennis would gamble. We would start the ice game up when he get off of work, and everybody would be coming and no diddy. Then the next thing you know, stakes is high. My baby mom spinning in the corner.
Like, man, cut that
what
shit
you
out.
doing out here? Rome rolling. Rome asking me where the shit at because I used to hide the shit.
I'm trying to get high, nigga.
Where the shit at, man? I'm gonna just go get the shit, man, because you ain't gonna go get up, man.
Yeah.
And what I learned through all that is you don't have to. You don't have to be something that you're not.
Right.
To be accepted.
Right.
You know, when drugs came into play with me, I didn't have to do it. Right. But I did it to the fact that then I had to do it to survive. So when it comes to people like glorifying, that's cool. Because everybody have different, vibes and different.
It might have been there for the moment.
But I definitely was the 3 for 10 bull. They can't say that. I definitely had the 3 for 10 in the double.
I think when we did do that, we struggled. It's funny we did it.
Yeah,
but that's probably when we struggled
the hardest struggle.
When we was selling that shit,
the hardest struggle.
We got rid of that shit.
And then I was selling crack, right? And what really fucked me up when I said I had to get my shit together, my cousin, I'm not gonna say his name.
Yeah.
He's dead now, but he was on a binge, and one of my players called me, and she like, I need a quarter. Now, mind you, quarter I'm charging $250. Mm-hmm. So I take her a quarter. She called me back like later on that night. I'm like, damn, there's another quarter. So I'm like, hold up, is she working? Bam. So that morning, she called me early one morning, and then like 8 that night, and then the following next morning like 7. She called. So this is going into 21 grams.
Right.
I need to see who you selling this shit to. I come to the spot, and it's my cousin. My cousin sitting in there, no diddy.
He in there
sweating, drawers on, cause I fucked up. But the whole time he knows my work. When I seen that, I said, damn man, I gotta get myself together. And then I wound up getting locked up. Came home, was still moving. My man got shot, got caught all up in some shit. Then I wound up, I still was messing with the weed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then my man went to jail, then he came home, then went back to jail for a long period of time. And in the midst of the time, I was doing little skid bids, but I was done with selling crack after that. I was done with it. Yeah. And I ain't even gonna hold you. I seen numerous of my family members, but that was the straw. That was the straw.
Yeah.
That was the straw. But yeah, shout out to K-Dot though. and his bars is crazy.
Yeah.
He's still nasty.
Crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy
That's
work.
crazy. Oh yeah.
Who was the boy that came on after him though?
He did okay, but
Let's get to this Jim Jones situation. We're gonna leave that alone.
We're gonna get to
the boy. Why the boy?
What's up with Jimmy, man?
Why the boy do that though? Why the boy? He can. I wasn't even rapped after K Dot. Not saying. I'm just saying.
I just think that he must have came.
I'm just saying. Even if I go and listen, you could be my man. If I go somewhere with Rome and he kill it, if me and him ain't going back and forth on a verse, or if I don't spit before me, it's not no need for me to get on because they're gonna wind up fast forward me or going over me anyway. Mm-hmm. That's that. And look, you know, I'm gonna get to this in state prison, right? Mm-hmm. I took artist development to
10 minutes
for break.
No,
yeah.
I
took artist development in state prison, mm-hmm. and I told all of the young artists which they doing now. I told them make LPs and EPs. People do because I bump into people. They be like, "Yeah, damn, you work for that." They thinking that I'm a rap. Or yeah. I said, "No, I just do this and do that." Now I'm helping them. I'm telling them what to do. I said, "Bro, just 2 verses, 10-bar hook. You could throw it at the top or in the middle or at the front and at the end. Switch it up." Ain't nobody listening to all that. I got 180 songs. There's nobody gonna listen to that. Nobody's gonna buy that. So I taught that state prison. A couple people came home and was like, you know, but man, forget my young boy name. He keep changing his name though on the gram, but he know what I'm talking about. Keep changing his name, man. And I was locked up with what you call his brother too. Free my nigga Feast, Lil Mook.
Yeah, Mook.
Rest in peace, Mook. Yeah, his brother. Yeah, man. But the thing with Jimmy, man, I think it's just a misperception of how he took it.
Jimmy just want to be New York right now, because
I love Jim though. No diddy. I love it. I love it. He's relevant. He's hot. He's him, and he. I'm gonna tell you what I think is going on.
My thing is this. Listen, yeah. No. My thing is this. If you're gonna say all that about Nas, then you gotta say Jay-Z.
Oh no, but he has rival.
You gotta say
you're forgetting that he has a rival. Right, but they asked him though. That was a question. Of course, he's going to say,
like Kid said,
he's better than
say that. He's like, we all gonna say that.
Yeah, of course he's going to say that. But
that's how we should.
When you show me the stats crazy.
No, I mean the consequence. He don't care because that's coming from the crowd.
Them stats is crazy.
He don't care about the audience.
The 800,000 from that. That's a
big difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
That's LeBron, and that's like LeBron saying he. That's LeBron saying he the greatest. Look, that's LeBron saying he the greatest.
And we gotta look at it, yeah.
Greatest of all times, and he not.
But you gotta look at it. You gotta look at it through the point of view that statistically, Nas been out since what, 1992? 91, right? He did that jump. Represent what that was on. 91? That was like 91.
That was 91.
1990, 91.
That was 90. Yeah, because that was right before Pac came out.
He did another joint.
I don't know.
Halftime.
Yeah.
That was around halftime time.
That's on an album.
Yeah, but that's when he did the freestyle with
before he even
he did the freestyle with Pac and all of them. Mm-hmm. He was on one of the freestyles. That was after that.
Yeah, that was after
and then they got signed.
No, you right, Q.
Search said it. Then he went and got him months later. Right. He went and signed to him months later. He told him, if you sign to me, I change your life. But I love
Jim Jones.
Tony, what's up? I love Jim. I love his energy.
Yeah, I like him.
What's up, Dana?
You know what I'm saying?
I love him, but I love Jim.
So look, what I ask everybody, where you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself in 5 years, hopefully healthy. Hopefully, I'm not gonna say down south. I'm gonna say somewhere with a little bit of land.
Okay.
Hopefully retired. If everything kick off like I wanted to kick off in the next 2 years, hopefully I can retire. I can get hit a lick. Nah, I'm talking legitimately.
They know. You
gotta be politically correct. He more entrepreneur talking about work. Then he talking about he about to retire. Now,
like, man, that nigga about to move to Miami. They say you get fired.
Move to Miami. Yeah, man. But that's it. And just staying consistent and never giving up.
True that, man. You got any shout outs and all that, Q? You
got shout out to everybody, man. I love y'all, even if y'all don't love me.
No, that's some that's factory.
Shout out to the whole North, up, down, up top. Shout out to everybody doing their thing. Mm-hmm. Shout out to everybody surviving out here.
Real shit.
And shout out to everybody that's doing for people that ain't nobody doing nothing back for.
No, that's the honest God truth.
You know what I mean?
Man. Listen, man, y'all here for just straight. That's the honest truth for real.
And shout out to this villain liquor.
Yeah.
Shout out to the villain.
That work. Niggas thought my bottles was empty. Y'all niggas is crazy. This shit.
Oh no, that shit ain't empty.
This shit ain't empty at all.
It's about to be that.
Yeah, I know. Fuck around, let you take it with you. Look. Listen, but no, man. On the flip side, man, I appreciate having you. Bro, you know you welcome me.
Oh yeah, the next talk I got. The next talk is going to be on that. Shit. I can't bring it up because I promised somebody.
He wasn't going to talk about it.
I promised somebody I was going to do that interview first with them.
Right, and
then we could take it on.
All right.
Further.
Yeah. Y'all listen, man. Part 2 coming, man. Y'all know the vibes, man. This is another episode of Entrepreneur Talk Live with Rome, your favorite rapper, man, and my bro, man. Q, you feel me?
You already.
Consequence, you know what I'm saying, man? Y'all better tap in, man. We got real stories. Like, I'm bringing real legends on the show that y'all don't even, don't know nothing about. Niggas don't know nothing about the niggas and played ball, the Rashids.
Yeah.
None niggas. We got stories.
Well, I actually played ball, too. I was good.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to Reese Rice.
Yeah,
I played childhood ball with Reese Rice.
You know what I mean? But y'all know the vibes. That's another story for part 2. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all know the vibes. You did?